Sounds good.
So you're
There you go.
outside in lovely Los Angeles, as we were just saying before I hit record.
Yeah, in lovely Los Angeles. This is my home. This is my backyard and where I
Nice.
spend a lot of time.
I like the telephone poles. It's a good
Yeah,
view.
yeah, there's lots of them. Beautiful. Really nice stuff.
Yeah,
What
it's
a
great.
scene.
Just ruining the skyline that would look magical otherwise.
I know. It's a big, beautiful blue sky, palm trees, and fucking telephone wires and posts.
All right, cool. I'm gonna kick off my silly little intro, ask my silly
Let's
little
do it.
questions, and have a silly
Yeah,
little
man.
chat. All right,
Let's do it.
ladies and gentlemen, trans and non-binary punks of all ages and denominations. Welcome back to another episode of Not Just a Phase, and thanks for joining us. If you're new here, let me get these plugs out of the way real quick. We're online at notjustaphase.net. We're on Instagram and TikTok at Not Just a Phase Worldwide. We're on Twitter at NJAP Worldwide, and we have a Patreon in our link tree on our Instagram if you want to help support the expansion of our podcast and the blog spot and all the other great content we will continue to create for you. We also run a page on Instagram at Ontario X Hardcore. We post show flyers there and some press for the Ontario hardcore scene. You can catch our articles under the ONHC tab on our website at notjustaphase.net. But let's get to today's guest. Today we get to chat with Frank from a newly formed Los Angeles-based hardcore band named Monk. They're blending the world of hardcore with Zen ideologies and a meditative mindset, and it's bringing a refreshing outlook on the therapeutic values of what hardcore music can bring to its community. And I don't know about you, but nothing sets my mind and body at ease quite like listening to or seeing some heavy music performed. So if you haven't heard this band yet, you've been fucking up big time, but we're going to fix that right now. So check this out.
Hey, this is Frank from Monk. You're listening to the song Nothing Matters, Not Just a Phase.
There's no time to think, move fast, just don't blink, must I over attitude, focusing on gratitude, nothing matters, it's all matter, nothing matters now. Nothing matters, it's all matter, nothing matters now. Burning, red, sun. Burning sun is about to sink. Could we be the missing link? Must I over attitude? Cause we learned to make it true. Nothing matters, it's all matter, nothing matters now. 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 Wow, wow, wow. Waters, boiling, pressures, mounting. Oh! Sons of mountain, explode.
Oh shit, first timer. Perfect.
Cool.
Professional. Have you done a few podcasts yet for the band or just in general?
I did. Do you know that Bandic Notes uh, podcast?
Yeah, yeah. My buddy Phil runs it.
Yeah. Okay, I did. I talked with Phil the other day,
Okay.
and
Fuck you, Phil.
for the band, that's probably love you, Phil. That's probably the only. That's probably the only one for the band so far. But
Shit.
for like work things, because I probably working on the Headspace app and working in like app design and stuff, there tends to be a lot of, I don't know, like techie, designy type media out there. So I've done a million podcasts before, but rarely.
Okay. So let's I saw that on your coffee mug. I guess we'll talk about that since we're on topic with it. The Headspace app.
Yeah,
You want to
sure.
plug that?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will always plug the Headspace app. I actually don't work at Headspace anymore, but I worked on the Headspace app for about 7 years as a lead designer of the app. That's outside of music, kind of my I guess my would you say my day job, I guess. Keep it simple. Uh, that's the kind of work that I'm usually doing. And obviously the kind of meditation influence of the content and that kind of thing inspired much of what you hear on the Monk record and kind of the formation of the band. And funny enough, we recorded some vocals at Headspace Studios here in LA, and my sound engineer Scott Sorensen, after a couple tracks, just looked at me from across the studio and was like, "Dude, you're making like Headspace hardcore." It's like, again, exactly. You nailed it, dude.
That's amazing. My algorithm feed on Instagram is constantly spamming me with Headspace. And I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
I know I'm fucking stressed out. I get it. Thank you for noticing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, they
how
have
on edge
a
am
lot of
I?
people who spend yeah. They have a lot of people who spend a lot of time on the on targeting people like yourself,
Oh, good.
trying to feed you the right feed you the right ads at the right time, you know?
How do you find that just based on the casual content I'm strolling, my stress levels? Like how do y'all know I'm so whacked out and tweaked out here?
Yeah, I mean there's when yeah, in the business they'd call it user acquisition, and
Right.
basically most social media sites you're browsing, i.e. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, etc., they're tracking what you're searching, what you're looking at, and they may not know the exact words and things that you're looking for, but they can usually tell based on some patterns of the kinds of things we're kind of looking at. Um, let's say they sort of bucket you into a segment of like you're like person like XYZ. They're,
Yeah.
broad
They
kind of
type it.
generalizations, but the more
Yeah.
information, like, yeah, definitely. And the more information they have, not just about you, but about people in general, the more, apparently there's a lot of people who think similarly to us. Um, and we're all sort of getting targeted that way, not just by Headspace, but it's pretty much the way that stuff is done.
Watching you simplify that, you were like, how the fuck do I put this? That was very impressive. Thank you.
I'm trying. I'm really trying.
That's
No
my
problem.
slightest understanding of it was just like they follow you.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, all right. Like I know. That was a much better
yeah,
explanation.
yeah.
Thank you.
They're tracking.
Okay. Yeah, they're watching. Big brothers out there. Okay. Cool. So we'll talk about you for those who don't know. Do you want to just state your name, what role it is you play in the band and all that?
Sure. Yeah, my name's Frank Bach. I'm the, I guess, singer, writer of Monk. I guess I was gonna jokingly gonna say I'm also the spiritual guide of the band,
The guru.
the guru. I'll take it.
So, so you composed everything yourself before compiling band members, to my understanding?
Not all of it. I mean, I had some riffs written. I had some, some inspiration and things like that. Um, but then I was able to tap into two buddies of mine, Ian and Dan Romano of Ontario music fame, and those guys really helped me out to get the project off the ground. I mean, I used to play in a band called Vicious Cycle about, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago. And since that band ended, I really hadn't done much in music, and I've been slowly trying to kind of piece together some bandmates, a project, trying to get something going. And I realized unless I drove the thing and really made it happen, uh, that was probably not going to happen. Just because, I mean, we're all older, and people are busy, people have jobs, people have kids, things like that. So making the time to rehearse and write and all of that kind of stuff just more tricky nowadays. And also we had a huge pandemic that where we all lost like 3 years of our lives. So that was not fun. But yeah, the Romano brothers really came in clutch. Yeah, it's terrible.
So you're technically like your write up says Los Angeles based hardcore band, but so like you have a lineup for
Yeah.
Ontario shows and you have a lineup for Los Angeles shows too then, or
I guess to simplify it, yeah, I have a couple lineups. It just kind of worked out that our first shows were in Ontario. I was heading up there for my sister got married, so I was going there for a few weeks, and I thought let's get some shows lined up. I had the record coming out on Dine Alone, and they're Ontario based, so we were getting a little bit of traction there, and thought let's kick that off and kind of tapped into some old music buddies of mine, Tom York, Sandro Sancioni of Tommy plays in No Morning nowadays, and Sandro's from the Creep Show, if you know them. And those guys stepped in and were able to play some live shows in Ontario. So I think that will probably be the, I guess, sort of the Canadian lineup of the band. And I've just recently filled in the LA lineup of the band. So the way I'm trying to set things up is wherever the I guess wherever the opportunities or the tours or the shows kind of happen, there's a few people we can kind of pick from who are, I guess, in the band, and
yeah.
might have to mix and match a few people here and there. But I think it'd be super helpful to have, basically like 8 or 10 people who know all the songs.
True. Yeah. So do you have any plans to come back to Ontario or Canada sometime soon, or
Yeah, we were looking at something for December, probably the worst time to be there because it's going to be shit to drive in. But
definitely, yeah.
that hasn't that hasn't been announced yet. But yeah, we're chatting with our booking guy about that stuff. So it might be a little run of Ontario and Quebec in December.
Oh, nice. All right. Well, shoot me the flyers when you get through, and then I can help post them up, get some eyes on it.
Absolutely.
We usually start off by asking how you first got into punk rock, but we jumped into all the other stuff. How'd you first get into this game here?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm just gonna wait for this garbage truck to go by since I'm outside on garbage day. Good
Nice.
planning, isn't it?
It
Okay,
is.
cool. How'd I get into punk? Yeah, I remember my earliest memory, probably like a lot of people of my age range, is discovering the Green Day Dookie cassette tape. And I was hanging out with this kid in elementary school who showed me the tape. And I don't know if it was the artwork, the music, I guess there was just something about it that felt like I need this and it speaks to me on a core level. And I remember bringing the tape home and asking my dad to dub it, and we listened to it together, and he was just so visibly annoyed by it, and
Perfect.
he thought he really didn't like it. Funny enough, nowadays, my dad plays guitar, and he's always playing "Time of Your Life" on guitar. So it's like this funny full circle moment of like, Dad,
Nice.
you like Green Day too. But yeah, that's how I got into it, and then probably I think we all had a bit of a new metal phase, and you kind of work backwards from there, and then um, find your way eventually to to the Black Flags and the Minor Threats of the world,
Yes.
and I've kind of been comfortably in that sitting in that kind of space for a while. That's definitely my kind of my zone when it comes to stuff I'm writing.
And what was your favorite new metal band at the time?
Oh man, probably Limp Bizkit.
That's the correct answer. Good job. You passed.
Yeah, that's the right one. Yeah.
That's the right that's the right answer as far as I'm
Dude,
concerned.
all these years later, it's still, all those songs are still stuck in my head.
They live rent free, man. They're catchy. They're catchy.
Yeah, and I mean, it's weird for me to see new metal totally having a resurgence, which is kind of interesting because I never thought that we'd see it come back in that way. And I used to promote shows in Sudbury, and although my kind of favorite genres are more like hardcore punk style, the kind of shows that younger people like to go to would mostly be like more metalcore type music. And once in a while, you'd see a dude show up, in like a Slipknot t-shirt or something, and it kind of stood out to me. But
Yeah.
nowadays, I feel like, you go to a Knocked Loose show and it's like new metal tees all over the place. It's kind of interesting to see how that's happened.
Yeah. There was so much fucking metalcore too, probably back when you were booking shows. I'm guessing the
Yeah,
2000s. Oh my God.
lots.
I went to so many. I was big into that at the time.
Yeah, oh yeah, tons. Yeah, Ontario was a good spot for that. And I mean, Canada in general, you'd always have bands
Oh
touring
yeah.
through. And being in Sudbury, we were pretty lucky. We're right between Thunder Bay and Toronto, and who wants to make that insane drive? So we'd usually you'd pick either Sudbury or Timmins, and 9 times out of 10 we would get it.
Yeah, fuck Timmins. It's too far.
So far, it's a dangerous highway to drive to.
But they got a mean Canadian accent too. Holy fuck. Your Canadian accent's gone, but you go up to Timmins, but no fuck, they just
Yeah.
come out there like they.
Oh, dude, it's intense. Yeah, I used to get made fun of at work all the time for it, and then eventually, just little parts of that accent kind of fade away, like saying um, project instead of project, process, little things like that. You kind of pick up, but yeah, I'm sure if I spent a day in Timmins, it would sound like I'm like watching a South Park episode or something.
Yeah, yeah, legitimately. We touched on this a little bit at the beginning of the pod, but like outside of music, what sort of hobbies and passions are occupying what little bit of free time I assume you might have?
Yeah, I mean, I if I didn't design stuff for a living, I'd probably still want to make things. I think that whether that be like art or zines or music or whatnot, I always enjoyed having projects like that. I'm a dad. I have a 3-year-old daughter, so that's taking up a lot of time. Um, Honestly, I'm a pretty simple guy. I mean, we're here on the podcast, and you can see um, I'm outside in my yard. I spend a lot of time here. I have uh, a few skate parks nearby that I like to peruse, and yeah, mostly just spend time relaxing, hanging out in the hanging out in the jacuzzi, hanging out in the sauna. These are
Nice.
uh, these are my grown up hobbies.
It's a quarter pipe in the back there, half pipe maybe. I can only see a.
Yeah, I got a mini ramp. Yeah, there's a little
Get
mini ramp
out of
there.
here! Look at that.
That's right.
Followed the two
For
rules
all
of
who
life.
cannot see, yeah, exactly. The when your partner tells you you can build a mini ramp in your yard, you act on it immediately before they change their mind. That was as soon as I got the green light on that, I was like, let's go. We're going to Home Depot.
Nice. Yeah, I've been told there's only two options in this life. It's skate or die. So it's nice to see you're still doing it.
It's very simple. It's a binary.
It's
Yeah,
very
still
simple,
alive.
black and white, just one or the other. So, what's some of your favorite bands out in LA since you're kind of technically in the LA scene and in the Ontario scene now?
Yeah, sure. Sure. It feels funny to talk about LA bands because I feel like they're already, who doesn't know
Right.
Zulu and Military Gun, these are like local bands.
Hmm.
Um, there's these there's this one band that I saw at a little backyard show a year ago called Cemento. And they're more like post-punk, kind of like Joy Division vibe. They're really
Nice.
cool. And then there's another band that's a little tougher to track down, but I think you can find them on Bandcamp. They're called Hot Load, and they're more like
Oh God.
Motorhead, sort of hardcore. Yeah.
It's like they're
The
fucking
it's
called
the
what?
best, worst name ever. Yeah.
I can see like their merch designs and stuff being like pretty metal and cool now that you said they're kind of like Motorhead, but
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they're solid.
Are they?
Yeah. And then I guess when it comes to when it comes to I guess more like Ontario bands.
Yeah.
Um yeah, Ontario bands. I gotta give a shout out to Imploders, my buddy Joey's band. They're amazing. And then we'll stretch a little bit outside of Ontario and that band Puffer out of Montreal. They're so sick.
Don't know
Um,
Puffer. No.
and then this other band, Puffer, go shout out to Puffer. Check them out. And then if you like more metal stuff, Serpent Corpse out of Montreal are also incredible. That's my buddy Andrew's band.
Fucking metal band names always crack me up. Serpent Corpse.
Yeah.
Sick.
I love wearing my Serpent Corpse t-shirt. Yeah, you get some good looks.
I bet. All right. What's one band, just one band that you don't think is getting enough attention if you could put a spotlight on them?
Yeah, I think
Just any band from anywhere.
something that comes to mind.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that band Spider Bite are pretty amazing.
Cool.
That's Dan and Ian's other band with Steve Lamke of the formerly of the Constantines. Spider Bite are fucking rad.
Do they play thrash metal kind of stuff?
No, they're a little more on the like I don't know, like Ramones core
Okay,
kind of
cool.
vibe. Um, yeah, they're musically awesome and also like visually interesting. I like looking at their album artwork and their merch and stuff. The whole package is really cool.
Nice. It's a rad name. So, well, we've chatted about enough other bands. We should chat about you. I guess you are on the show, right?
Sure.
Let's let's do the promo thing. What labels released the EP called Rock? Where can we get physical copies for those listening who want to hear it?
Yeah, the EP got released by Dynalone out of Toronto, and you can pick it up definitely at the Dynalone store, either online or physical. They've got a shop, a brick and mortar store, and probably anywhere you usually get records. Somebody told me that they found it at Amoeba here in LA the other day, which surprised me, but exciting. It's always fun to see your stuff in an actual store. Um, but yeah, if you're online, I think it's just dynalonestore.com.
And you said you recorded some of this or most of it in the Headspace studios. Did you guys mix and master there too, or?
Yeah, we did vocals and mix and master at Headspace in LA, and then the rest of it, all the instruments were at Camera Varda in Welland.
Oh, nice. Like Welland, Ontario, obviously. Okay, so you did
Welland,
half there.
Ontario. Yep.
Yeah, so you did half there, half here kind of thing. That's cool.
It was it was a very online process of passing files back and forth.
Yeah, like were you all in the same room then or no? Just kind of hitting
No,
drums and then guitars and
no,
then piece by
just
piece or
yeah, just layering it, and then once we had the I guess the instruments down, then the vocals just kind of came together, and I banged those out in one session. I thought I was gonna do one track like per day, or maybe like two songs per day, and just went for it a couple takes. And my buddy Scott Sorensen recorded it, and he got me loosened up in the booth, and just kind of did my thing and sounded pretty good. So we didn't overcomplicate it. We just went with the first couple takes.
nice, nice. And did you do the artwork then, I'm guessing?
Yeah, I did the design and layout of the record, and then my buddy Jack Rogers, he did the illustration of the that sun on the cover.
Nice. Yeah, I thought that matched the aesthetic and tone really well with everything you guys were going for with the image. And
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I originally had something that was a little more, I guess more, it looked a little more like modern art kind of style. Uh, and then I showed it to some people, and the first feedback I got was, this doesn't look like music to me. And I was like, okay, that's probably the wrong artwork to use then.
oh shit, eh? Yeah, I definitely feel like this matches up with your aesthetic, so it's cool.
Thanks.
So you guys have only played a couple shows, and in Ontario, you hit like what, two
Yeah.
shows when you guys were here?
Three, we did
Three.
Sudbury, Toronto, and Montreal. Yeah.
Right, right. So I guess this question would probably more pertain to your previous bands, but do you have a
Sure.
favorite show or tour memory?
Yeah, just tour memories in general.
Hmm.
Um, Anytime you get to go to Europe is a blast. I mean, just kind of sitting in the van and driving through, like, the countryside of France, or, getting through Basque country and north of Spain. Like, those kind of places are just so beautiful and scenic, and you kind of beside yourself that you even get to do this. And those memories really stick with me. But more recently, just getting back out there with friends and playing music every day, and not, I feel like maybe getting a little older has made me appreciate all those times. Like, I think as when I was younger, we spent too much energy kind of complaining about it, and not being grateful for it. And just this time around, uh, just really soaking it all in, and knowing that, like, these are kind of the moments, like, this is the stuff that sticks, and that you'll remember later on and be so glad that you did. Um, and I think there's just a little more maturity in that sense.
selected.
Rings so true. Thinking back about bitching about like one fucking note or like, oh, you're 10 minutes late. Meanwhile, it's like the times of your life just playing
Yeah,
music with your
totally.
friends.
Yeah,
You're freaking
yeah,
out about the
yeah.
stupidest shit.
Right. Like, our, yeah, like our on our first show in Sudbury, we during our second track, our guitarist Tom was like way out of tune, and
Yeah.
it's like in the past I might have been like bummed about it or like gotten angry at him for it or something, but like now we just kind of chuckled and laughed and just like, dude, you were so fucking out of tune during that. Like, it was hard for me to keep up with you because I couldn't even tell where you were. But like, it's just not that serious. We're like,
Yeah.
did we have fun? Yes, that's really all that matters.
Yeah. Like that was painful. I'm happy to be here. Like,
Yeah,
don't worry
yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
totally. And it's all, it's all, and it's done, and we'll get up and do it again tomorrow. And maybe we'll do it better, maybe we'll do it worse. I'm not sure, but it's not that big of a deal.
Fucking A. So what band what's on the to-do list? What band's the dream band that you want to share the stage with real bad?
Man, I mean, I mentioned Military Gun earlier. I think it'd be fun to play some shows with them. Um, there's also a band uh, just a little south of here, across from San Diego in Tijuana, called they're called Violencia, and they're
Valencia,
like
yeah.
a Mexican hardcore band, and they sing in Spanish. And I always thought it would be cool to play some shows down there and kind of see what that punk scene is like.
They
So that
fucking
would
rip
be,
too.
I guess
Good
that's
band.
the a couple bands. Yeah, they're awesome, right?
Yeah, they rip. What else do I have on my list of bullshit here? Oh yes, classic. Every band is doing reunions. Which band hasn't done it yet that you'd actually like to see do it? It's a tough one
Yeah,
because
good question.
every fucking week there's more and more doing it. So
I don't, yeah, I don't love reunions. I do
yeah,
think it sort of takes the magic away from, what you kind of put the band on in your head.
yep.
And yeah, I mean, I'm sure it would be fun. There's some bands that I haven't gone to see. Like um, I've not gone to see like the Descendants, and I've had a couple of chances, but I've just sort of avoided it. Yeah, random reunions. Honestly, nothing's really coming to mind. Yeah, like you said, I think most bands have done it. Um, the I think the new kind of model that people are discovering is that you can break up and then become, you can do your sort of farewell shows, get some really good turnouts, and then wait a couple years and then come back and do your reunion show, and then you can just become a band again, and then it's sort of like just rinse and repeat.
Yeah, or you can do your reunion show every year, then break up every year, then do a reunion show every fucking year, like some bands that
Sure.
I'll leave nameless to not be a shit talker, but yeah,
Yeah, I guess we could, like, what if we just broke up after every show? What if every band, you just never know if they're gonna come back.
hey, it could happen at any time, right? This could be the first and final Monkey EP.
Could happen. I
Yeah.
think yeah, it could be. Never know. I feel like my buddy Drew, and he sings in Single Mothers. I feel like they had a time where they were just picking up every 5 seconds, or it's like unclear if the band ever was ever even together. They're just sort of in a perpetual broken up stage.
And one of my favorite Ontario bands of all time. Their first, everything up to Negative Qualities, fucking flawless. I know their sound started to change a lot more recently, but holy fuck! Even the one after Negative Qualities with the dog on it, just fuck. I love Single Mothers. Such a good band.
Yeah, they're so good.
Yeah, they're nutty. Drew was a fucking animal alive too. Absolutely
Oh
nutty.
yeah, he's so fun to watch perform.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Love to see them again soon. It's been a while.
Oh yeah.
So I guess you're a couple years older than myself, so you've been in the game long enough. From when you first got into this
I'm
until now.
36.
36? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, not 32. So what's some
Yeah.
of the good and bad changes you've seen since your day one until now?
Yeah, good and bad changes like in the music scene.
Mhm.
Um, I think the good is that it seems to be a lot more accessible than it has ever been. I mean, I think when I was younger, you'd sometimes hear bands talk about, hardcore is a safe space, everybody's welcome, like let's like take care of each other, all that kind of stuff. And you sort of look around the room and, you're seeing a lot of um, not a lot of diversity, and you're
Mhm.
seeing, um, still seeing sometimes like people doing like crowd killing and crap like that, and like that is not an accessible, um, diverse space, And whereas now I think I'm seeing a lot more. I'm seeing a lot more of the openness, like kind of like what I think hardcore and punk maybe was more in like the 80s. um, Seems to be having a really nice resurgence with younger people. And I think that might be, some people call it the turnstile effect. I think it's that combined with probably the pandemic, I think got a lot of people like, you know, angry and venting and wanting to have some kind of release. So probably attracted a lot of people to hardcore, which is awesome.
The turnstile effect is a fucking hilarious term I've never heard until just now. But
Yeah.
I was calling
Yeah,
them the
they're like
TikTok
one of the
kids.
biggest bands. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
calling them the TikTok kids or the new jacks, and I'm
Sure.
all for new
Yeah.
people because otherwise, who am I gonna hit? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's nice to see new. It's nice to see new faces.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's nice to see new
Yeah.
faces.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, I would, some people my age complain about, being like the older person at the back of the room, kind of watching the show. And like, man, that the last thing you want is for a music scene to feel like like a high school reunion or something where it's just
Oh
all,
God, yeah.
like what's next after that? Like we're all going to be watching hardcore bands at casinos in Vegas or something. Like that would be terrible for a music scene.
Yeah, I don't
It
mind
has to
standing
it
in the
has to
back
stay
with the beer.
fresh.
I don't mind standing in the back with the beer. I got my beer kicked out of
Yeah,
my hand at the last
totally.
show, and I was all the way in the back, so I was like, it's a good movement. I'm happy. I was not complaining.
Nice.
um, if you could do a guest vocal feature for any band, who would you want to collab with? Big Pipe Dream or something possible, whichever.
For me on their record or them on my record? Yeah,
Dealer's choice, and by dealer I mean your
dealer's
choice,
choice.
maybe. Yeah, you can pick.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I feel like whenever I'm writing something and I can tell that that part's maybe not for me, we usually have someone in mind. And I know we were just chatting about single mothers, but I think it'd be really fun to work with Drew on something. I just think he has such a fun like cadence, the way that he sings, and like
Yes.
I could never. And he's almost like talking like offbeat from the song, and I just think that's so interesting, and like just it makes it so fun to listen to. Like somebody's telling you a story over music,
Yeah.
which is I guess the kind of the goal of music, but it's really really rad. Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say he does a storytelling, and there's like, for in terms of unique voices, especially
yeah,
in hardcore, like fucking nobody sounds like Drew. Nobody does
yeah.
his the way
No,
he fits
no.
lyrics and the way he delivers them. It's not, I don't know who the fuck I could compare to, so that would
Yeah,
be a
yeah.
super cool
He's
collab.
living in his own. He's like in yeah. Yeah. He's in his
Yeah.
own zone for sure. And that's also, I think, what makes him such a great performer, because it's like you're watching like music, but like it also feels like theater or something. Just
Yes,
watching him do his thing.
definitely a performer. definitely a performer. I like to usually wrap up with a couple stupid questions that presumably nobody's asked you.
Sure.
Whatever you're willing
Yeah.
to put on record, you don't have to.
Sure.
But I always love
Sure.
asking what's the most illegal or dangerous thing you've ever done in your life. You can
Sure.
hide some
Illegal.
detail.
On our last tour, we were driving back from Ottawa to Sudbury, and I was trying to get the rental car back to the dealers before they closed, so I wouldn't
Yeah.
get charged for another day. And I got pulled over in North Bay doing 150 in an 80, and in Ontario that
Sick.
yeah, in
They could
Ontario
take your
that's
license
like
for 50 over, can't they?
instant impound. Yeah.
Yo.
Yes, they can. And I was sternly warned that that could happen. Where I got lucky is that I have a California driver's license, and the cop who pulled me over was kind of thrilled and excited to be looking at a California driver's license. I don't know. He started asking questions about like, what neighborhood do you live in? What do you do down there? And he let me off with a $35 ticket, reduced it
No.
drastically. Yep, yep. Gave me the warning, but then left. He left me saying, um, "Since you don't live here and you don't have an Ontario driver's license, there's not really much I can do with this." And I imagine, he could have probably taken me back to the station or something, but he probably just wasn't feeling like doing all that day, and yeah, got off pretty lucky there.
Holy shit. Yeah, because anything at 50 over, they can just yank your license like that's it. And it's for a couple years too. Like
Oh
you have
yeah,
to, holy
oh yeah.
fuck. Because they consider it
It's
like
like stunt
fucking
driving.
stunt driving. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I was
yep,
looking for what I was like,
yep.
drag racing? No, that's not it. Stunt driving. There we go. It's like- in a fucking U-Haul full of I guess it would have been empty, but that's still crazy.
Yeah, it was just just an SUV. Yeah, yep.
Fuck. All right. Well, I usually start this question by saying assuming you're not a pacifist, but
Sure.
considering monk, you might be. I'm not sure. I'm not
That's a
sure,
fair assumption.
right? But if you could punch anyone in the face as hard as you can, there's zero repercussions. Would you punch
Sure.
anybody, and who would it be?
Oh man, that's such a tough question. And you're not wrong in your assumption. I will do like everything I can to avoid conflict in many ways. Drives my wife crazy. I've never been punched and I've never punched someone, so I'm trying to keep it that way.
Seriously,
Though, you know what? I'm
you've
gonna,
never got clocked at the
yeah,
show?
seriously,
You never
never.
caught one at a
No,
show?
I've had
Not an
people.
elbow, a foot,
No,
nothing. The fuck?
mm, maybe like maybe a stage dive that landed on the head, but
Yeah, but
never,
never a
never
fist or a
somebody.
foot.
No,
Wow.
never a fist or a foot. No,
Hmm.
I had someone land on my head once at an American Nightmare show, and when they landed, my neck sort of like did a really bad popping sound, and I sometimes wonder if I have a vertebrae that is just like super loose that's just gonna like cripple me one
Oh,
day, but so
god
far
damn.
so good.
Yeah.
Uh, but on the punching topic, I do really enjoy watching people punch each other. I love watching uh, I love watching UFC,
Nice.
which might
Same.
might take people by surprise, but I try to catch all the pay-per-views and stuff.
But you can't think of anyone yourself that you'd knock.
No, there was a maybe about a month ago we had a guy jump our fence into our yard, and I think he was trying to steal stuff out of our garage or something. So I guess that's if there was one person I could, I could swing at, maybe it would be that guy just because he endangered my family, and that's not cool.
Fair enough. When push comes to shove, you'd punch that guy if you had to.
Yeah, that's the guy. Yeah, but he would have to make the first move.
Gee, truly a pacifist, eh? Okay. All right. All right. So what music do you listen to that could be considered a guilty pleasure if you believe in those sorts of things?
Yeah, I think probably music that lands more in the metal core genre. Um, I really like those new Knocked Loose tracks.
Mm.
I think a lot of people talk a lot about, these like bands that are, kind of in the stratosphere of music. And yeah, I just really dig what those guys are doing. I think musically, artistically, it's really cool. Live, it's an incredible show to see. Um, and then I guess on the more less hardcore kind of side of things, I mean, it's I don't know if it's a guilty pleasure, but I definitely love myself some like, Tom Waits, Leonard Cohen, like just kind of more poetic, kind of folky type music.
Oh, okay. I don't know who they are, so I can't make fun of you, but
Yeah.
if you consider them guilty pleasures, I'll accept it.
Yeah, not for everybody. Yeah.
Did you ever have any cringy MySpace screen name back in that era, or like a cringy screen name for a, I don't know, a gaming console or something?
Sure, yeah. I had one that I used for a long time that was it was Frank is Dead, and it stuck around and kind of made a comeback when a couple of my buddies at work asked the same question, and then um, they kept calling me that on the work chat in front of my like other colleagues and stuff. Kind of hilarious. Like why are they saying you're dead? Why are they saying that? And then I posted something on an Instagram story about it at one point, and my mother-in-law like texted my wife right away and was like, what's wrong with Frank? What's going on with Frank? I'm
Oh
worried
my
about him. Why is he
god,
saying he's
no.
dead? No, it's my screen, my screen name.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's great.
gotta watch out for those parents in social media. They get worried
Yeah,
about you.
yeah, I don't let them see that shit. I definitely don't. Like, my mom tried to add me on Facebook like so many times years ago, and she kept being
Oh,
like,
really?
"It's not working." I'm like, "No, I'm intentionally denying it. There's no fucking way. There's no way. I don't need to
That's
run into
funny.
those situations." So I
No,
actually thought
no
of this
way.
this morning. I had the questions list all laid out for you this morning, and then just before we popped on the chat, I thought, as a man with a very prominent mustache, you must have a
Sure.
favorite iconic mustache out there, inside or outside of the hardcore world.
Yeah, I think for sure. Outside of hardcore, Daniel Day-Lewis, strong mustache in There Will Be Blood. Great movie, strong
Yes.
mustache.
Strong stash.
And then in hardcore, I don't know, it just comes to mind. Andy from Every Time I Die has always had a
Yeah. Oh
massive
yeah.
caterpillar on his face.
Oh yeah. He did the handles for a while too, right? He
True,
did the
true.
handles for a
I was
while.
gonna
Yeah.
say he looks like a wrestler, but he is a wrestler, so it makes
Yeah.
perfect sense.
Wait a second. Oh shit. You got a favorite album of the year so far? Something you've been playing a lot of, or
Album of the year, that new Gel record's insane.
yeah, Joe's
Only
great.
Constant. That's a friggin' awesome record. Um, let's see. Yeah, that's gonna be number one for hardcore for sure. And outside of that, what else have I been spinning? But you're gonna have to cut this gap out of the interview.
I
I
usually
actually
don't
have
cut
to go
anything to
reference my Spotify.
I usually don't cut anything to be
All right
honest.
then.
I might, probably not.
All right then.
I don't even cut myself when I make
Um,
fuck up.
who's a cool band? That band High Vis. I think they're pretty solid.
Hide is?
high vis, yeah,
I don't never heard.
VIS, high vis, and
Oh, high vis,
on
high
the
vis. Sorry, I misheard you. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, on the high vis, yeah, and the that's more like full length records. On the EP side of things, shout out to Rockpile out of Sudbury. They're doing some cool
Yeah,
things. You should have them on the pod as well.
I should actually. Their stuff's banging. That's cool stuff. They
Yeah, they're
just
awesome.
dropped that EP that goes hard.
Yeah,
That music video had me cracking up too.
absolutely.
In their tracksuits and the fucking balaclavas and Hennessy and bullshit. It's funny.
Yeah, I mean, it's just they're having fun, and I love and appreciate that. I think we spent so
Yeah,
many years in hardcore and punk just taking ourselves way too seriously, and
fucking A.
it's just it. I much prefer the playfulness and the fun aspect to it because it's fun as hell.
Agreed. A little bit of a loaded question I like to ask near the end, so take your time if you haven't thought of it, because I don't think I even sent you
Sure.
these questions, did I? Did I send you these questions?
Yeah, you did. You sent me some questions.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did?
I
Oh,
just
okay.
skimmed them really quickly.
Oh,
I
yeah. We were
find it's
supposed to
more
have this
fun
chat
to
like,
have a conversation. Yeah,
yeah, fair enough. We were supposed to have this chat like fucking 3 months ago, too, right? Like before the EP dropped. Like,
totally,
yeah,
totally. Yeah, we've been slowly trying to find this time. Who knew time zones would be so tricky?
who knew? Who knew? So if you could give the world a gift, doesn't have to be a material possession, what would it be?
Sure. I think everyone in the world should have access to mental health care tools, meditation, mindfulness, that kind of stuff. I think if I could like have a magic wand and just give that to everybody tomorrow, that would be awesome. I think that'll make the world a better place.
So what is your big secret to meditation? Is there one thing that makes it work specifically
You
for
need,
you, or
yeah,
one thing you would advise to beginners? Or
I would advise that you're gonna go off track all the time, and you might, just try to make 5-10 minutes a day for it. And if you miss a day, a week, a month, whatever it is, don't beat yourself up about it. Just get back on the horse and keep trying. I think it's kind of a corny saying, but it's called a meditation practice, not meditation perfect. And it's always a practice, it's always something that we're trying to get better at. And there's no like end goal. It's just giving yourself a little bit of time and space to settle your mind and process things.
I think that could quite easily apply to life as well as meditation. That was nice. Nicely worded.
Yeah, totally. Thanks, man.
So you said it's not an end goal, not a big accomplishment. It's a process, right? But
Yeah,
what kind of
always.
goals and accomplishments do you have for Monk? Like what do you want to do with this band before it runs its course, or before,
Yeah,
you know?
for sure. I think we're ready to start considering another EP. These things take time, and by the time we'll get into a studio and get something going, it will probably be a good year or so that the rock EP's been out. Um, I'd really love to, because we're only a couple hours from Mexico here, and I saw that band out of Toronto. That band shit, like
Yep.
S.H.I.T.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I saw those guys. Those guys did a run of Mexico, and I immediately screenshotted the tour flyer. I was like, I need to do that. That looks friggin' awesome. I need like touring that country is kind of a bit of a dream, and I think that would be a blast. I mean, I'm sure there would be some moments that would be slightly dangerous, and you'd probably want to carry your cash in socks and your underwear and things like that. But
True. That's
I
the
think it would be a
experience.
fun experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's it.
Those are very cool plans. Those are very cool plans. So what's coming up for the band for the rest of the year then? Just maybe those Ontario shows you're talking about.
Yeah, I think that Ontario run in December. Yep, yep. Um, that should be fun. We're trying to get some more like weekend warrior type dates out here in
Right.
California, but that would probably be more of like a January, February thing.
Mhm.
But yeah, just keep playing some shows, get the record out, get the message out, and um, it's been a good decade that I've been, kind of out of music, I guess. Um, so kind of, finding my feet again and um, making those inroads into hardcore and punk. Now as an elder punker. Uh, that's been super enjoyable, and I'm loving the state of the scene these days, even in Canada and in the US.
Yeah, well, fucking welcome back. I like to say instead of elder punks, scene.
Thanks.
I call them senior citizens.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, it sucks. Terrible, terrible. But yeah, hopefully I can catch you
It's
guys when you
funny.
come back in December. That would be nice because I didn't catch you this time when you came through. So hopefully you'll be
Yeah, absolutely.
close-ish, not like way the fuck out there. We'll figure that out. But you got any last shout outs, any plugs, any causes, anything you want to talk about at all before we play an outro track and wrap it up here?
Yeah, I think if whoever's listening, if you're going through it, if you need some mental health support, if you need somebody to talk to, if you need, if you're struggling with that kind of stuff, know that you're not alone in it. There are tools to help you, and yeah, the best thing you can do is talk to somebody about it. So please do that, and then we'll wrap it up with yeah, protect trans youth.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well said, man. Thanks so much. It's been super fun chatting with you about hardcore meditation, your mustache, all that good stuff.
Absolutely. Thanks, Rob.
Appreciate it, man. Catch you in December, eh?
Okay. Have a good one, buddy.
Take care.